impossible. That is absolutely impossible what he just did. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Morning. Welcome to another edition of the Residential Future Podcast. We're coming to yours truly. Today is March 14th. This is also known as Pie Day, so make sure you get yourself some pie. With that being said, I'm here with my brother from another mother, per usual. It is my boy Deshaun. How you doing this morning?
Man, I feel a little bit jet lagged because of, the daylight savings time. Losing an hour of sleep always is a bad thing, bro. But I mean, we're here, man.
That's true. I woke up slightly like a zombie this morning, but it's I get it. They gave us an extra hour a few months ago, so they had to take it back. I get it.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
And that is fact. So I guess a few things happened between now and the last time we was on here. As you know, the actual New Year's season is in 3 days, but things are starting to the domino's starting to fall, right? And so one of the biggest question marks of the quarterback carousel extravaganza, miracle, whatever you want to call it, another domino fell here, and that's basically Dak got paid. Dak Prescott finally got paid by the Dallas Cowboys, $160 million over 4 years. I want to say 124. That money is guaranteed. He received $75 million in the first year. What is your thoughts on this groundbreaking news?
Man, you know what? I didn't think that Jerry Jones would, cave in the way that he did, because this was like some of the money that Dak was looking for in the first place. So it took him, this period of time in which, Dak got injured. Dallas really didn't look the same. Ezekiel Elliott looked like a straight up bum, in my opinion. So it just felt like, once Dak, got, exited via injury, it just felt like the whole team basically fell apart. They just really couldn't piece it back together. So, I mean, kudos to him, man. It is a league that, wants to get paid. Everyone wants to get the top dollar. So, is he worth it? I think he done some things to show that he is a gamer. I'm not sure if he's a true proven winner just yet. But man, you look at that offense, Jamar, and it's good to see that both all of those guys up on that offense are gonna they're definitely gonna make some noise come this fantasy season. So.
Oh, absolutely. I know you asked, is he worth it? I would say the answer to that is the market, I guess, allowed him to be worth it.
Yep.
It's perfect storm between, this deal should have probably been done 2 years ago. But yet, Jerry being Jerry, ego got in the way.
Yep.
Between that and the injury, but not also the injury, but the aftermath of the injury where, we found out Ezekiel Elliott forgot how to play football. Andy Dalton wasn't the quarterback that we thought he would be. And then you had Ben, Anucci, whatever menu item from Olive Garden you had out there. The defense, just all-time atrocious, and then finishing 6-10 and arguably the worst division of all time. And so all that played a factor into him, getting this contract right here. I mean, there was rumors of, him wanting to be pretty close to, what's his name? The $500 million man.
Pat Mahomes, yeah.
And with that and, other quarterback situations out there, it's just, I don't know, perfect storm plus Jerry's ego getting in the way and everything else. I mean, the man got paid. So we would have, going forward, we should expect, the Cowboys players to, produce right back to where they used to be as far as production. You should get a fringe or a solid wide receiver one out of Amari Cooper going forward. Maybe Ezekiel Elliott know how to hang on to the football now and return back to his RB1 status there. Michael Gallup, maybe he's still a flex option here. CD Lamb looked like he was on the rise before Dak Prescott's injury. So I feel like Dallas Cowboy fans and players should be excited for this, especially Dak Prescott.
No, I'm with you, bro. And as far as like fantasy implications go, like all those players that you name are, like those guys can get it done. I expect CD Lamb to take a huge leap this year, man. I mean, he did this with, quarterbacks, like you said, that sounds like it's a straight menu option at Olive Garden. So, I mean, it was really, really tough for him. But man, he made some fantastic catches, outside Justin Jefferson. I think he is, probably the better of like the wide receivers that were drafted that year, but definitely keep your eyes up on him. I think he's going to make a surge this year.
I can definitely see that for sure. And so we'll talk more about sophomores in general later on. But another piece of news here that's actually concrete. So Cam Newton and the New England Patriots are running it back one more time. I guess apparently, this past year and how the New England situation, it was like it was kind of set up for failure to begin with, in my opinion, just because of the number of players that opted out due to COVID, which I would never hold anybody against that. But the reality of the situation is they was down key players on that defense. And then, Cam Newton signing like late last off season to where, he basically had to learn the playbook on the fly. And then the number of weapons that he didn't have. It was insane. And him catching COVID in the middle of the year. And yet the Patriots stayed competitive for the most part. They stayed competitive. So how you okay with this running it back one more time?
Yeah, I'm okay. And like you really don't see that too often. Too many times we've seen quarterbacks that really didn't get their fair share of like do with the team that they only been with for maybe a couple of years. So Cam, he was only there 1 year. Like you said, like no weapons. Like zero weapons, man. And like you said, bro, like all perfect points. Like he had to learn that playbook on like the fly. Everyone knows how difficult New England's system is. So I think they pretty much dummied it down for Cam, maybe like a little bit late toward the season. But that playbook is not very easy to learn there. So with the players opting out, like you said, you can't really knock those guys for doing that. Got to protect yourself and your loved ones. So I think once they get some of those guys back, and again, like you said, bro, all perfect points, like they remain relevant. And I think that they should be decent, if they can, add some more weapons. I like to see them give Cam, a couple of wide receivers, maybe a tight end and wide receiver, go draft one or go, reach out to one of these guys who are up on like the free agent market right now. So I think that I like this. I like this, Jamar. I think it's the right thing to do. And, kudos to them for giving Cam Newton another shot.
No, absolutely. But like you said, it depends on what they can add there. So
yes,
Edelman, I don't even know if he's going to be like all the way healthy by the time the season starts. Based on their projected cap, it's looking like they'll have around 56 mil in cap space. So
okay.
they definitely have, the resources to throw some money around here. There's definitely a lot of needs. I'm not sure if James White's coming back. The wide receiver position is atrocious. They definitely need a tight end. Maybe they go out and try to get a Hunter Henry who's available. They definitely have some work to do. GM Bill has some work to do. The coach Bill is great. The GM Bill needs to get some things done here. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I think his contract is a base salary of $5 million. So, basically got him relatively cheap again. So let's see what can happen here in Foxborough. All right, so another topic that is, I guess, near and dear to both of our hearts, because you definitely have a stake in this guy's interest and has been for a few years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's our boy, Allen Robinson, franchise tagged. You know what? I will let you take control of this one, man. Like, go ahead.
Look, man, I'm all for working to get this guy a deal, but like, why wasn't a deal done by now? The most consistent player on your offense, Jamar. Let me ask you this question: you remove an Allen Robinson from you guys' offense, how do you think the offense will go?
That's a wrap. Throw the whole thing away.
So simple. You see how fast you said that? So I'm not exactly sure what's taking the Bears so long. Maybe they're all in up on like a quarterback first before they make a move on a wide receiver. So that's like the only reason how I can see why they're taking so long with this situation.
Let me give you some clarity here, to which I guess kind of learned this morning, and I'll let you continue.
Okay.
All right. So as you saw, well, as you tagged me yesterday in that post with restructuring contracts for the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing: Allen Robinson does not intend to sign that franchise tag. Allen Robinson definitely wants a new contract, but he also wants to know what the quarterback situation is going to be for the Bears. So, as we discussed many a times about Chicago, this all is going to come down to who is the quarterback of the team, how soon they can get him in there, and then they can go from there. I feel like that is the number one situation with the Bears, and everybody knows that around the league, the quarterback situation. So they're trying to get that figured out. Because, like I said, Allen Robinson does not intend to sign that franchise tag. But the Bears at that point did what they had to do to not lose his rights. So that's what's going on at the moment.
Yeah, I don't like it. I mean, there is a chance that it can like backfire and you'll lose, in my opinion, one of the league's top wide receivers. So I mean, like whatever the Bears have to do to get that done, get this. Have he not done the things that the Bears organization asked for him? I mean, he went out there, made the tough catches. He kept his mouth shut when there was QB turmoil. He didn't complain about the quarterback who was under center. Those are the type of guys that you want up on your team. He's a professional and he's one hell of a football player. So I don't understand when a guy like that does not get exactly what he wants. So I mean, I guess we'll see how this thing plays out. But I am like right now, my back is completely turned up on like the Bears organization.
I mean, I get it. And the other thing that I forgot to mention that's playing a factor is this low cap that's affecting a lot of teams right now. It's an all-time low. So I on good faith, which I know it's kind of hard to mention good faith in a Bears office together. It is hard. But I want to say on good faith, the reason why the deal didn't get done sooner is because of the cap situation and the quarterback situation.
Quarterback situation, yeah.
I think those are the two. Because other than that, I don't see any other reason why this deal didn't get done. I know they value this man because they went out and got him a few years ago. And they, consecutive 1,100-yard seasons?
Yep.
And not to mention the catches and touchdowns and what he does for the offense. And like I said, if he's not there, it's a wrap. Throw the whole thing away. I'll see you the 2022 draft at this point. Because it's that bad without him. Oh, man. And I saw on Twitter, if it pertains to this, so he liked two different tweets, which was one about, they said the biggest winner was Kenny Golladay because, he got his freedom. Allen Robinson liked that tweet. And then I think it was Torrey Smith, former wide receiver, saying being franchise tag suck. And he liked that one too. So make no mistake about it. Allen Robinson is definitely very vocal one way or another about how he feels in this situation. So we'll see. So switching gears here, because we could talk about contract restructures, this and that, but we probably won't see the benefits of that until probably sometime next week. So once free agency really gets going. So with that being said, yesterday I asked you about sophomore players and more so the running back position because, I mean, let's face it, we saw some great talent. We definitely saw some great talent. And if we was to draft right now, I mean, maybe some of that talent might fall into the top 10 or whatnot because, as of right now, the top 5 or 6 running backs is usually set in stone because you got your McCaffreys, you got your Kamaras, you got your
Dalvin
Cook, Derrick
Derrick
Henry.
Henrys, yeah.
You can possibly throw Saquon in there. If you have a forgiving heart, you could possibly throw Ezekiel Elliott back in there. But yeah, those are usually the top guys that you're drafting. But I mean, we've seen a very incredible class of running backs here. So without further ado, I'm gonna let you name your top 7 from this sophomore class going into next season, and then we'll ask some more questions afterwards.
Oh yeah, sure, man. So like you said, dude, it was like I was really in awe how well like these running backs face with especially like my top 2, but we're gonna get into that like a little bit later. So I just want to start the list off by mentioning Deandre Swift. Like again, 13 games played, 521 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns, 46 catches, 357 yards, and another 2 scores. So that was pretty impressive, especially playing with a Detroit Lions team that is just pretty much abysmal. You know what I mean? So another name that I want to mention is, man, and this guy has potential. You and I both love him. Antonio Gibson, 795 yards, 11 touchdowns, Jamar. 11, 36 catches, 247 yards. No scores through like the air. And he had that really good, I think it was the Thanksgiving Day game in which he rushed for 3 touchdowns. And you and I both won our fantasy matchups that week because of this guy. So shout out to Antonio Gibson. He should be phenomenal pending that QB change in Washington. So another guy who, again, I might as well tell you now, is hopefully I'm going to keep this guy, and that's J.K. Dobbins from our keeper league, Jamar. So 805 yards, 9 touchdowns, rushing, and 18 catches for 120 yards. So, I mean, I would like to see a little bit more with him via the receiving game because, I mean, he has some pretty solid hands for a running back. But the only thing that's pretty much holding him back is Lamar Jackson himself. Mark Ingram departed from Baltimore, which basically gives this guy a clear path. I'm not sure about what's going on with the Gus Edwards situation, but the younger, faster, more agile J.K. Dobbins should be the top back in that backfield this year. So let's go ahead and swing to number 4 with Clyde Edwards-Elaire, one of the running backs who had a roller coaster season, in my opinion. First started out very, very strong. You and I were looking like, oh man, like he's about to be this dude, bro. So he had like an up and down season. I think he's going to have a little bit more of that this coming year. That team is just fully loaded, like guys who can get it done. We've seen Darrell Williams. He was able to get it done while he was in there. So Clyde Edwards-Elaire, 803 yards, 4 touchdowns, 36 catches, 291 yards, and 1 TD. And he will especially be PPR dependent, considering like how much Mahomes like to dump off to the running back. Another name that you and I both love, who really didn't get a lot of consideration until late in the season, was Cam Akers. 625 yards, 2 touchdowns, 11 catches, and for another 123 yards and 1 more score. So, I mean, he was on this running back carousel where they'll send out Henderson, and then they'll send out like the next guy, and then Akers will get his little bit. And then Sean McVay said, okay, hold up. This guy is going to be our guy. And he showed it, man. Like he legit showed it through the latter part of the season. So please, if you're smart, let this guy be your bell cow. McVay already said that he's invested in him going forward. And these last 2 names, God, James Robinson, if you drafted this guy last year or even picked him up in free agency, there's a very good chance that you had some sort of success. James Robinson was amazing. 1,070 yards, 7 touchdowns, 49 catches, 344 yards, and another 3 scores. So this guy was like, he was very, very good. And this came out of nowhere. You're lying if you said that you knew that this guy was going to be the real deal. And so a lot is going on with that. And, Jacksonville is probably going to land Trevor Lawrence. So we'll see how that goes. That could be a nice little 1-2 there. And number 1, in my opinion, will still finish as a top 5 running back, and that's Jonathan Taylor. This dude is just crazy good. 1,169 yards, 11 scores, 36 catches, 299 yards receiving, and another score. Jamar, this guy can flat out get it done. He has the perfect combination of size, speed, agility, and he has a knack for finding the end zone, which everyone loves when their player finds pay dirt. So, man, this list is amazing. Jonathan Taylor, in my opinion, will finish as a top 5 back next year.
Ooh, and we got that on wax. It is Pie Day of 2021, and he's going to finish top 5.
He's going to finish top 5.
Gotcha. So, no, these running backs right here are definitely, I feel like they're special talents here. Now, I'm going to ask you about surge or slump for each one because, as we know, situations can change. Like Deandre Swift, Jared Goff comes in there, so not sure. New coach, so it might be a new philosophy. So, as we know, the Lions' backfield is, crowded per se, and they typically do a running back by committee. But like I said, new coach, new philosophy. So, is Swift more likely to surge or slump?
I think he's more likely to slump, Jamar. And I mean, I'm just keeping it completely honest. I believe he'll be more effective in a PPR format, considering the 46 catches, 357 yards receiving. So, I mean, he is a legit dual threat running back, and 8 touchdowns. That's nothing to that's nothing to like to sniff at. So, like, that was pretty good. But like you said, there's some changes going on. We're not sure about which way, how the backfield is going to go. Barring injury, he has a chance to slump more than he does to surge here. But again, still a good name.
All right. Antonio Gibson, like you said, we both love this guy. I was definitely thankful on Thanksgiving for his production. That's for sure. It's crazy because before last offseason, that backfield was crowded, and we thought we was gonna, roll the juice man, Darius Geis, and unfortunately, how that situation occurred. Antonio Gibson is the main guy now. You got Terry McLaurin there as well. Just need a quarterback. But with all that said, I mean, is he more likely to surge or slump this year?
I'm gonna say surge with Gibson, man. That 11 touchdowns. I mean, make no mistake about it. That's tough by a 13-year running back veteran or anyone, bro. So I'm gonna say he has a chance to surge. Again, he is the main guy in that backfield. He can do both, rather catch or just straight up run the football, and he is a good goal line back, which is great. When he's down there, he tends to score. So I'm going to say surge.
Okay. All right. Our buddy J.K. Dobbins, who, we've been waiting.
Yep.
And waiting. And so, yeah, we found out, a couple months ago, Mark Ingram was no longer with the team, and he ended up signing with the Houston Texans, which I'll get into on a later date because I don't know about that one. But, it seems like J.K. is the guy. But knowing the Ravens and their run-heavy scheme and how they like to split the backfield, Gus Edwards, I believe, is a restricted free agent. So he may come back, may not. But either way, you got Lamar Jackson there as well. They don't really have a true number one wide receiver, but I guess based on how they play and their scheme, I guess necessarily don't need one to succeed, but nevertheless. All right. Surge or slump for JK.
Man, this one is really, really tough. The biggest thing that I can see that will kind of, cut back some of his production is like the quarterback. Lamar Jackson likes to rush it a ton, even inside the goal line. He likes to, just do a quick, fake like he's about to hand it off and just bolt past like everyone. So JK, I'm gonna say he's gonna have like someone like the same production. Jamar, it may be a little bit more, but I need to see more out of him as far as the receiving game in order for him to be as productive as you and I think he can be. But whenever you got a quarterback like Lamar Jackson, that's going to always take away from, some of your production. So I'm going to say I'm going to go even with JK.
Okay. All right. So turning our attention to Kansas City and CEH here. So my personal belief, had Le'Veon Bell not signed or had CEH get injured, his productivity, he probably would have been flirting with a top 10 finish this year.
Yep.
Well, last year per se. So I don't think Le'Veon Bell is coming back, but Damian Williams is probably coming back.
Yep.
As we know, how you already mentioned how Kansas City run their offense. So, with all that being said, Surge or Slump for Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm gonna go Surge. Kansas City has always been a plug and play running back. No matter what back is in there, it just seems like they tend to perform well. Any running back under Andy Reid just seems to perform well. He knows what to do at this position. So I'm gonna say, like you said, man, another good point. If he stays healthy, I think he would have. I think he finished like somewhere in like the 20s, which wasn't bad for a rookie back and all the things that he had to, go up against this season. I think he's going to be more heavily involved in like the passing game. We know what he can do: 36 catches, 291 yards, 1 touchdown. So I'm going to say Surge for Clyde, man.
All right. We're going to go to the West Coast here. Cam Akers got himself a new quarterback, which I feel like is an upgrade. And
You and me both.
and Matthew Stafford. It took, just like Jonathan Taylor and Indy, it took, some time, but he finally carved out the starting role. I think Malcolm Brown is a free agent, so I'm not sure if he's coming back. Can't even think of the other running back's name that's along in that backfield, but it seemed like Cam Akers is the man with the plan. So Surge or Slump for Mr. Akers?
Oh, definitely Surge, man. You got the new quarterback there, and the only thing he's going to do is make Cam a little bit better. He's going to make him feel a little bit comfortable. He's going to utilize him the way that he should be utilized. And it took them a while to see that this guy can be an every down back. Sean McVay said it on multiple weeks occasions. He is our running back going forward. So that led me to believe, to feel a little bit more strong about playing this guy. And he had some pretty good games during like the latter part of the season. I think Cam is a straight up Surge here.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. All right. We got 2 more. All right. So Jacksonville has, I think, $74 million in cap space here.
Yep.
I mean, we know Trevor Lawrence is going to be their quarterback next year. We know that offense is depleted with talent. So before I even ask the Surge some question for James Robinson here, I will say there's probably a likely chance they go out and sign a running back here, which could definitely affect his value.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, for Mr. Robinson, Surge or Slump?
I'm gonna say Surge, Jamar, and the only reason I'm gonna say that, and it's really, really tough for me to say that, when you have a running back that can do what he does on the receiving end, we're strictly talking about fantasy here, right? So, like, even though you may be a fantastic back, in real life, it doesn't always transition to being one of the best fantasy running backs out there. This guy can get it done as far as receiving. We see that 3 receiving touchdowns, 344 yards, 49 catches. And I'm looking across the board at my stats here, and it's looking like that is the most by running back last year. So, yeah. Oh, man, it is. So I'm going to say if he can stay as consistent as he has been inside the passing game, I'm going to say Surge. But if that tapers off due to the quarterback play or him being overused or the lack of talent and, the defenses want to key in up on him, I'm going to say Slump. So I think he's more so dependent on what he gives us as far as the receiving game. We know what he can do up on the ground. But
Gotcha. Fair enough. And then our top guy here, which I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this, but let's see. New quarterback. I don't know if his leadership skills are going to be there or not, but nevertheless, you got a new quarterback there. Uh, Sharing the backfield with Naheem Hines and Jordan Wilkins. I think he's still there. Pretty sure Marlon Mack is a free agent right now.
Yep.
The wide receiver position for the Colts is still up for debate here. But, yeah, Jonathan Taylor, basically the last 4 or 5 games of the season, he definitely came on and showed you why he was drafted as high as he was. He was a stud coming out of Wisconsin, and he showed his display of talent there for the Colts. So, surge or slump for Mr. Taylor?
Man, surge. This dude is the real deal. And, look, I am going to be looking to add this guy. So, let's quickly talk about draft position right now. I know we had no idea of, actually discussing it. Say if I'm sitting there with pick 10 or pick 8 or 9, all those good running backs are pretty much going, right? All the top guys that you name, the Derrick Henrys, the Alvin Kamaras, even Saquon may be gone. What I would do is I would pick this guy, again, and when it's my turn again, I would probably pick some sort of stud wide receiver that is still left over, because Jonathan Taylor will be able to get it done for you. Make no mistake about it. He is a RB1. So RB1s tend to range from, 10 quarterback leagues, 10 obviously, and 12. So he'll fall somewhere between 5 and 7 next year, in my opinion. Just if you are able to target this guy, target him, because I know I will be.
Okay, you know what? You basically segued into my bonus topic for you. You didn't even know that.
Okay, nice.
All right, so I know you're on record of saying, you have. Matter of fact, you said it multiple times today that Jonathan Taylor is going to be top 5.
Yep.
All right. So basically, all right, name game. So basically, are you taking Christian McCaffrey or Jonathan Taylor?
Christian McCaffrey, just off the strength of receiving yards. 1,000 yards receiving. Come on, man. That's just, even if he doesn't have a great, day on doing one or the other, this dude is going to make up for it in the receiving if he doesn't have a rushing, and vice versa. So I'm definitely taking run CMC there.
Okay. Alvin Kamara or Jonathan Taylor?
Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is a stud. We already see 6 touchdowns in one game, easy. So I'm definitely going Alvin Kamara.
All right. The best running back in football, Dalvin Cook or Jonathan Taylor?
Dalvin Cook.
Okay. The King or Jonathan Taylor?
I'm going the King, man. And it was a mistake of mine not targeting him in any of my leagues last year. It was a huge mistake. And I'm not doing that again. Even though he does not give you much in terms of the receiving game, this dude will just blow you away with what he can do on the ground. Literally, blow you away.
Yeah.
So, definitely I'm going the King now, man.
All right. Ezekiel Elliott or Jonathan Taylor?
I'm going Jonathan Taylor. I made my bed, and I laid in it last year, and I feel like Ezekiel Elliott was on all the teams that I had that did not fare well last year, Jamar. And you know how I am. I'm a very stubborn fantasy football player. I want to win. My name is synonymous with winning when it comes to fantasy football, and it was not that last year. So Zeke, you got to go, boy. And if there was a better, pick for Zeke, I'm going for it. So give me Jonathan Taylor, bro.
All right. Saquon or Taylor?
Taylor. Give me Taylor. Give me the sure thing. Saquon, again, it depends on where it is, whether we're drafting 5th or 8th. And, if both of those guys up on the board, Saquon has had multiple injuries. Great talent, and he is what a running back should be. But I'm going Jonathan Taylor.
Okay. Got a couple more here. Nick Chubb or Jonathan Taylor?
Ooh. Man, that's tough. Nick Chubb or Jonathan Taylor? Man, I'm gonna get a slight edge to Nick Chubb. So how many years has Nick Chubb been in the league? This be his 3rd year, right?
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely give a slight edge to Nick Chubb. And I mean, very, very slight. He is like
this is third year.
Third year, damn good. So yeah, let me slight edge to Nick Chubb there. Man, I forgot about him.
Good old Nicholas Chubb. Let's
Yep.
see. Austin Eckler or Jonathan Taylor.
Give me Jonathan Taylor over Austin Eckler.
Interesting one here. Aaron Jones or Jonathan Taylor?
Oh, yeah, very interesting. Aaron Jones.
If Aaron Jones was still a member of the Green Bay Packers right now.
Man, I'm gonna. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, that one is good. That's a good one. That's like I thought you weren't gonna be able to top the Nick Chubb one. But that. Let me go Jonathan Taylor. I mean, why not? I think these guys are gonna give similar production next year. I'm gonna go Jonathan Taylor.
I'm gonna probably ask you one more. But this was just, more so to gauge exactly how we really feel.
Okay.
I mean, the guys that we naming are elite guys.
For sure.
And so,
man, all these names you're going to be naming, running backs going to be pretty deep next year.
Yeah. And there's some other ones I'm not even going to name, which is still, solid options. And it's crazy. Do I even have one more to offer to actually? That's even. All right, I'm gonna ask you two more. I got two more.
Okay.
All right. Miles Sanders or Jonathan Taylor?
Give me Jonathan Taylor. I think we already know what we're gonna get out of him, Miles Sanders. Even though I think he'll do fine, it's just still a lot to figure out with that Philadelphia offense there. Jonathan Taylor has his position cemented in that offense, so give me Taylor over Miles Sanders.
All right, and then David Montgomery or Jonathan Taylor?
David Montgomery, is he on his last year, like contract year, something like that for you guys?
I don't think so. He
No?
came up.
Okay.
This is his
third year.
Yeah, I want to say this is internet. Yeah. Dude, I'm getting confused because
third year. You're right, because 2019 was his rookie year. So,
if that's the case, Nick Chubb is entering his fourth year. Then.
Okay, Nick Chubb entering his fourth year.
That's what's throwing me off. Okay.
Yeah. So, shit. Man, that one is tough too. Give me Indianapolis running back over Montgomery. Give me Taylor. So that was a good one. The David Montgomery, the Nick Chubb, and the Aaron Jones. That was good. So I think all in all, between like the 7 there and like how many backs was that? Like that was about 15 backs, right?
Let me see. Because I definitely got Taylor over 6 running backs I named. So let me see. Then there was McCaffrey, Kamara, Cook, Henry. So basically about 10 backs there. And we basically got Taylor. No, 11 got Chubb. So basically Taylor is somewhere on your calculation between 5 and 7, I guess, depending on or whatnot. So I guess that's pretty consistent how you feel. So I mean, it's worthy though. I mean, it's all warranted. I mean, I think my favorite word on this show is evidence. And so, I mean, the evidence is there right now. As of right now, Taylor will be an RB1 without a shadow of a doubt.
Without a shadow of a doubt, man. Like you said, the proof is in the pudding, and outside of like all the rest of the guys up on like my list, I think Taylor going forward should be a strong, very strong RB1.
Indeed. Man. Oh, those are good names too. This should let you know how deep the running back position is going to be, and it has been deep. Well, the overall depth of the position is deep per se. The elite talent for a couple years hasn't been that deep, but it's starting to. The elite talent is starting to, get up there. That's for sure.
And that is good for guys like us who like to, strategize whenever we're drafting. We don't have to go all in on those running backs, or don't get that big sweat drop right there by like the corner of your face when you think that all the good running backs are gone. No, you can pick some later. It's just the way how you actually like your draft strategy, depending on where you pick. Me, I think I probably want to pick maybe later inside the draft than this one, man. Like who knows? But I mean that things may change, but this running back pool right here is looking pretty deep, bro.
For real. I'm not gonna lie. I like talking about this. I'm ready to discuss draft strategy.
Don't get me started, bro.
And my draft, and I'm ready, and I am doing my best to say that for a later show when we start getting into draft strategy and mock drafts and stuff like that. I'm it's like I had to hold my own self back on that. It's too early for it, but it's like you talking about that. I already got like the cogs in my head starting.
I know it.
I'm sitting here trying to piece this all together. We ain't even like free agency hasn't really got going yet, and the rookie class coming in because there's 2 rookie running backs that's upcoming that's probably gonna have instant value off bat.
Probably talking about Najee Harris and Travis Etienne, maybe.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Instant impact. So add that to the man. Like it's gonna be hard not to flex a running back this year. If you haven't already, it's gonna be hard not to.
Yeah, and it's like the good thing about it, bro, is that we're gonna have to check this like ASAP so I can get it out of my head whether I'm gonna be able to keep Dobbins or not. I think so. I think I picked him late for that reason, and that reason only is to keep him. I
think you're good.
Okay, good. So I mean that's gonna probably be my flex there. So I'm already building a juggernaut running back class there. So I mean we'll see again, dude. Man, now I want to go mock. Man, you lucky we can't mock draft right now. So.
I know, like J.K. Dobbins to you as far as your keeper is Antonio Gibson to me as far as my keepers. So,
dude, really? Do you get to keep Gibson? Are you kidding me? Oh man, ain't that something, dude? That's crazy. Just when I thought I had one up on you, that's crazy. So I mean, that's good. That's wow.
I mean, we both had the same idea of getting somebody that we knew that's going to be a rock star going forward.
And I mean, that was the smart thing to do, considering that it is a keeper league, and you have to factor in all things. Picking those late picks. You just can't be up on any old regular Joe. You got to kind of dig deep, and it's like, man, maybe this guy can be a guy. Let me go ahead and pick him up. And you and I both were right in that regard. So, man, that's kudos to you, bro. I did not know that. I didn't. I think maybe you got this. You know what? Whoever kept James Robinson, probably.
I think that's your brother.
Yeah. So I mean, that one was pretty good as well. I'm not sure if any of these other guys are keepers in like the main league. So.
Swift might be, CEH definitely not. Cam Akers is, I'm sure somebody gonna get lucky there. Jonathan Taylor, I think he got drafted too high.
Yep, I think so too.
But I think Akers and Swift.
CEH, yeah, definitely won't make it. I think he got picked in the first round in our league.
That was by Vic.
Yep.
And I think Vic also took Taylor. Or
he did, I think. No, I know he took Justin Jefferson as well.
Yeah. He took a lot of rookies last year, which I feel like he hit home runs on the rookies. I think it was just everything else. We have Vic coming next week, right?
Yep. We will have Vic, the Colts fan extraordinaire. So, oh yeah. Can't wait to get my cousin on here, man.
Oh yeah, it's going down. Swift, I don't know if he's keeper or not. I think did Vic draft him too. Somebody did. I think it's around the border, but I'm pretty sure Akers is available to being kept. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, man. No, I'm excited. Ready to draft right now. But we'll save draft strategy for another time as we get towards. I try to at least last until May for draft strategy. I'll try.
That's gonna be tough though, man.
It is, dude. I swear I got my whole strategy just wrapping in my head right now. What I need to do, when and where, and with who. So, no, it's all good. All right, so to close things out, we still have a giveaway coming. It's coming. Be on the lookout. Stay tuned in. We got you all, and also, we're looking for spots. We got spots open for our league next year. Be on the lookout for that as well. I guess before signing off, where can they find us, Mr. Reed?
And they can find us on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora. We are on Pandora now. Basically, everywhere where all podcasts are available. The next Destination Fantasy Pod, we're right there. So definitely, we're streaming live right now on Facebook, as far as well as YouTube as well. So definitely check out our YouTube page. Give us some support. Thumbs up, sub up, all of that good stuff, as we will bring you content weekly. So again, we appreciate all the love, support, the comments, the shares, the whole nine. So we definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, all right. So we'll be back next week. We got our boy Vic, Deshaun's cousin, coming on, Colts fan, get some Colts perspective on that. Talk about, I guess, more things to come, because it's about to have a snowball effect with this off season. So get ready for the excitement, get your popcorn ready, and let's have fun. So until then, with my brother here, Deshaun, I'm Jamar. See you all next week.
Peace.